What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Celtic Clydesdale show. I'm Jim and I am the Celtic Clydesdale. So if you remember, I did a video a little while back about why I got into triathlon, and in one of the comments I saw this. So here it is. So before we get into beginning triathlons, let's discuss a little bit about triathlons insofar as, what a triathlon actually is. All right. So first we'll talk distances. Generally speaking, there's 4 distinct distances for triathlon race. All right. You're going to have for your sprint level, which is typically a pretty short, pretty intense race, which more often than not you'll see between 500 meters and 750 meters for the swim, between 8 and 12 and a half miles for the bike ride, and then almost invariably the 5K or 3.1 mile run. All right. The next level is going to be your Olympic level, which is called such because it's used for the Olympics, and it's very standardized. It's a 1.5 kilometer swim, which is about 9/10 of a mile. Then a 40 kilometer bike ride, which is about 24.8 miles. And then a 10K run, which is 6.2 miles. All right. Next up, you get the 70.3, or your half iron distance, which is going to be a 1.2 mile swim, followed by a 56 mile bike ride, followed by a 13.1 mile run, or a half marathon. And then of course you've got a full iron distance, called such because of the Ironman, which by the way is a brand name, but it's kind of sort of generically applied because of, the fame of it. And in that event, you're looking at a 2.4 mile swim, a 112 mile bike ride, and then a 26.2 mile run, which is full marathon. All right. And typically and generally speaking, for a full iron distance, especially if you're doing an Ironman branded event, they give you a time limit of 17 hours to finish the entire race. All right. But those are your 4 general distances for triathlons. For the purpose of what I'm going to be discussing in this video today, I'm going to talk about the sprints and the Olympics. All right. So let's go ahead and move on. All right, the swim. All right, let's dispel the very first myth. You do not specifically have to use a freestyle or a forward crawl stroke. You don't. You can use any stroke that you desire as long as it's a safe stroke, and generally speaking, they like you to keep your head above the water so they can see you. The lifeguarding staff can see you. Other than the safety issue and, keeping your head above water, whatever stroke you want. I'll be honest with you. For my very first triathlon, the Honolulu Triathlon, I did 95% of the swim using a backstroke. All right. My most recent triathlon was a little sprint done at a local Navy base to get me that medal right there. I did that entire 750 meter swim using the side stroke. All right. But any stroke that you can do comfortably and safely is completely legal in a triathlon. All right. So yeah, just your ability to do a particular stroke should not hold you back from getting into triathlon. All right. So rest breaks, you are allowed to take them in the swim. All right. Now, generally speaking, at least in my experience, water depth is typically such that you can't just stand up and, take a standing break, if you will. But you can, in fact, hang off one of the lifeguard boats, or, like a kayak or a stand-up paddleboard or whatnot. It's allowed. It's totally allowed. All right. The rules do say, however, that you can't use that device or, that watercraft for helping your forward momentum. All right. In other words, you can't basically grab onto a boat that's being pushed along with the current, because that's helping you out, all right? But typically when you do come up to a boat, they're typically trying to keep themselves in a given spot, all right? So yeah, you can't use the boat as your propulsion, all right? Not allowed. And I don't think it's an actual rule, but all the triathlons I've been told that if you grab onto a motorized boat, it's akin to giving up, all right? You're coming out of the water and they're going to take you to shore and you basically DNF the race, all right? So I'm not sure if that's an actual rule or just happening in the races I've been in, but it's actually better off, and typically there's going to be like a stand-up paddleboard or a kayak that's way closer to you than any of the motorized boats, all right? But the point is, you could totally hang off one of those and take a break if you need it, all right? I've done it many times, many times, and it's totally legal, all right? And if you've got to do it, hey, I say absolutely do it, all right? There's no shame in it, all right? Take your break. Get back on with the swim once you've caught your breath or gotten your wits about you or whatever, and just finish that swim, all right? The only thing you got to do is do it. So, and finally for the swim, the best way to finish the swim is to, oddly enough, just relax, all right? Don't let your mind like dwell on, oh, I've never swam in ocean water before, or I've never swam in water this cold before, or I've never swam without my wetsuit before, all right? Don't let your mind think about those things, because I'm going to tell you from personal experience, all right? It'll psych you out and it'll make the swim so much harder, all right? So the number one rule is you come in to go do your swim, just relax, all right? Let the swim happen. Focus on forward progression, all right? Focus on taking rests if you need them, hang off that kayak, hang off that stand-up paddleboard, get your wits about you and continue on, all right? But don't dwell on the things that could happen, all right? Just don't worry about that and just move along, all right? And like I said, just relax and enjoy what you're doing. That's the best thing to do in the swim, and it'll get you through and everything will be all right, all right? So let's go ahead and move on and talk about the bike. So the bike, all right? Dispel a myth here. You do not need a special bike to do a triathlon, all right? Having been in triathlon for quite a while, I've seen some amazing things, all right? During my first race, I literally saw a guy do a triathlon. He was doing the sprint, the same race I was doing, and he did it on the bike he borrowed from his wife, and it was a beach cruiser bike. And it was a women's beach cruiser bike, and he didn't care, and it didn't matter. You know what? It had pedals and two wheels, handlebars, and it was, it functioned safely, and it met the rules, right? So totally legal. All right, and that guy's bike, it was even a single speed bike. But he did the race and he did it all right. I've seen people do it, races on mountain bikes, which, if you're doing an off-road triathlon, you kind of need a mountain bike, but I've seen them do, road triathlons with mountain bikes, and it's perfectly fine. And then, of course, you've got dedicated triathlon bikes. You've got bikes like mine that are sort of a hybrid between a road bike and a triathlon bike. Works fine, all right? But the point is, you don't need a special bike. You don't even need an expensive bike, all right? So if you've got any kind of bike, with an exception that I'll discuss in a second, but pretty much any bike that you have, it's going to be totally legit for doing a triathlon in, all right? Now, the rules do say it has to be an upright bike. You cannot use, if you happen to have a recumbent bike, It's not legal in a sanctioned triathlon. All right, so that's about the only exception. All right, so yeah, no special bike needed. Ride what you have. It's just 2 wheels, pedals, handlebars, safe, function, works. So that's that, you know, nothing special to get in the bike, just make it happen. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the run. All right, the run. You just do the run. All right, I mean, honestly, it's running. There's no real special equipment required. I mean, I'll tell you, if you're going to get into running, you know, wear good shoes, you know, take care of your feet. But I'll be completely honest with you. If you want to get into triathlon, you know, you don't even need good shoes. You can go, I don't know, wear a $10 pair of shoes will get you through. You don't even have to wear shoes. Run barefoot, all right? It's running. You just do it. It's natural, all right? The human body's actually kind of built for running. So do it, you know, get into the run, make it happen, you know? Just, I mean, obviously don't go and jump into something that your body's really not used to, that you don't have the capability of doing, you know. The point is, on the run, you don't need anything. You just go, all right? And if you're used to running 5Ks, hey, start with a sprint triathlon. You're going to have that 5K run at the end. You're all ready for it. The only thing that's going to be different is that your typical 5K that you're used to doing doesn't have a swim and a bike ride for the warm-up, all right? But not a whole lot more I could say on the run. It's the last leg. Hey, race is on, you know, the race is 2/3 over already. So just go, get it done. All right, let's go ahead and close this out. That was getting into triathlon. All right, as I've said, it doesn't take anything special. It doesn't, I mean, I recommend training for it, but I mean, hey, if it's something you want to get into, pick a sprint race, you know, go do it. You don't really need to know a special stroke for the swim. You can use whatever's good for you. If your swimming is not good enough to finish that distance in one fail shot, you're allowed to take breaks. Do it. You don't need a special bike to get the bike done. So do it. And running is running, all right? Although there's plenty of special things for running, you don't need anything. You just go and you run, all right? So if you really want to get into triathlon, just pick a race and make it happen, all right? So I want to send a special shout out to Russell Hartzell, who is the viewer that gave me the idea for this particular episode. I'd like to say thank you for the Russell for suggesting this, and I hope that what I've made here satisfies what you're looking for. Thank you for interacting with me, and hey, keep watching, and by all means keep feeding back to help me get better and to make this channel a lot more than what it already is. All right. On that note, if you've liked what you've seen in this video so far, please give me that thumbs up. On the other hand, if you don't like it, I guess you can give me the thumbs down. I'd rather you didn't. But hey, I got to take the good with the bad, right? So if you're new to the channel, or if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button. You'll be doing me a great service if you do. And ring the bell to get likes, or ring the bell to get notified. I put out videos on Wednesdays. I try to get them out about 02:15, but it doesn't always work out that way. But I do always upload my videos on Wednesdays, and I stick to that. So down in the show notes, you'll see I still have my FC Cancer Foundation fundraiser going. I'm doing pretty well. I'm past the 50% mark, but I'd like to get up to 100%, and I still have the thing going on. If I can hit 100% by Veterans Day, I will dye the thick part of my beard here to match the Irish flag. And if I exceed 100% by $50 or more, then I will do my whole beard. All right. So got that. Now, if you would be so kind and you wish to do so and help the channel out from a financial viewpoint, I've got my cash tag down in the show notes also. Feel free to click that. Any little thing will help, and I'll give you a shout out in a video. Commenting, please hit me up with comments, interact with me. I love interacting with the viewers. All right, that's the best part of doing this whole YouTube channel, is interacting with the viewers. All right. Also, that's a good place to give me any suggestions for other products that you'd like to see me review, or other topics that you'd like to see me cover. All right, so please comment, hit me with suggestions, all of that. I enjoy that part the most. All right, so that's that. We're going to close this out. Next week, I'm going to surprise you again with what I'm doing, because I think it's better that way. All right, so yeah, till next week, keep on keeping on.